The career of Bryan Adams has seen a hive of activity in the 2010s, with 6 concert tours promoting 2 new albums, the 20th and 30th anniversaries of the classic Waking Up the Neighbours and Reckless albums, the compilation album Ultimate, and the more acoustic stripped back Bare Bones at the start of the decade. Bryan Adams' newest effort, Shauna Lloyd, is a good follow-up to the 2015 Get Up album, featuring all new material in the first 11 songs of the album. Although the album hasn't got the hard rock nature that fans of Reckless and Waking Up the Neighbours desire, it has got a good mix between modern influence and that hard rock that Adams fans crave. I'm Toby from TIJ Music, and today I'm going to be reviewing the songs on Bryan Adams' new album, Shauna Lloyd. The album starts with the namesake single, Shauna Lloyd, followed by an Adams duet with Jennifer Lopez, That's How Strong Our Love Is. Shauna Lloyd was released in the middle of January as a single, so I've had the chance to listen to the song a few times, but I have to say I'm not really too keen on it, and I think these 2 songs do make up the more modern sounding records on the album. It is nice to see though that Bryan Adams is collaborating with the big stars of the modern day, so Ed Sheeran, who co-wrote Shauna Lloyd with Bryan Adams, and Jennifer Lopez, who provides vocals on the second record, That's How Strong Our Love Is. They're both decent songs, I'm not taking it away from them, but perhaps I did expect a little bit more from the start of the album. Both of these songs probably deserve a 5 out of 10, nothing more and nothing less. By the time I got to the 3rd song on the album, it's fair to say I was getting quite frustrated that I hadn't really heard anything that resembled the classic Adams albums, and the great album in Get Up that preceded Shauna Lloyd. Fortunately, I did get this feeling by the time we get to part Friday night, part Sunday morning. Now, initial thoughts tell me that this song is about a girl who is either a little bit cool or corny according to the lyrics, and that it's someone who has 2 contrasting sides, so it's an interesting narrative that's there. Without any deeper meaning though, the song has more substance than the previous 2 songs, and this is followed up in my opinion by the best song of the album, Driving Under the Influence of Love. Track 3 teased a hint at Adams' older style, and track 4 shows this off brilliantly. I really like the song, even though I've only heard it once or twice, and it continues Bryan Adams' long-standing partnership with Jim Vallance as a songwriter, which started with the Cuts Like a Knife album in 1983, and has continued to this day. All or Nothing, which is track 5, is also a good effort, and almost sounds quite AC/DC-like, which is quite incredible really. It hasn't got as much substance as the previous 2 songs though, but this portion of the album, tracks 3, 4 and 5, is really encouraging, and much better than the 1st and 2nd song. Track 3 receives a 7 out of 10 from me, track 4 receives an 8 out of 10, and All or Nothing, which is track 5, I'll probably stretch to a 6.5 out of 10. It's a little bit better than 6 out of 10, but not quite a 7. Well, I thought this album could be a collection of really good songs after listening to tracks 3, 4 and 5. Instead, the corny nature of the girl in track 3 actually came through on tracks 6 and 7. Much like tracks 1 and 2, they're half decent songs, but nothing more. No Time for Love and I Could Get Used to This. And I'd suggest that they're no really more than album, filler tracks, whatever you want to call them, and this is further implied by the short length of the tracks. Collectively they make up about 3 minutes and 50 of the album. And to be honest, the songs really have no exciting elements or an adequate length that really convinces me, so a 4 out of 10 for both of these. Now, I'm not particularly sure about this one. Talk to Me is the 8th song on the album, and Adams combines with Phil Thornley, I hope they've said that right, who has contributed to the albums of many artists over the years, and fully produced the Pornography album by The Cure that reached number 2 in the UK album charts in 1982. I do feel like I want to like this song because there's nothing like it on the album, because it's got more of a melancholic nature, but it's not really until the 2nd third of the song that I feel any particular emotion. It might be a song that grows on me with time, because bear in mind I've probably only had 1 or 2 listens of the album so far, but I'm not really sure about that. The lyrics are great though, and I feel the song is possibly let down slightly by the musical accompaniment, but still, it receives a 7 out of 10 from me. Track 9 differs on whether you've purchased the album on CD, digitally or on vinyl. The CD version features The Last Night on Earth, which I'm not quite sure because it doesn't specify anywhere whether the song is an original of Bryan Adams or a cover of another song, or whether he wrote the song with Jim Vallance. I'm not particularly sure where this song comes from because I've never heard of it before anyway. But I Hear You Knocking is on the vinyl version, and that's a cover of the version that was made popular by Dave Edmunds in the 70s. The Last Night on Earth is more like the first two tracks in its modern sound, but once again it's a decent song and probably does eclipse those two songs slightly. Now, I've only heard Adams' live version of I Hear You Knocking, but I really like that song in general and the lyrics that go with it, and I'm sure the Bryan Adams studio version really does do it justice. I can't really comment much though on I Hear You Knocking, but The Last Night on Earth is a decent song, but once again nothing really more. The album does have a pattern though I feel going through, and there's a few great songs, but a lot of decent ones at best, which does seem a bit of a shame. I'll give The Last Night on Earth a 6 out of 10. Tracks 10 and 11, Nobody's Girl and Don't Look Back, follow the same pattern that tracks 3, 4 and 5 follows. They're good rock songs that help the album to become more well-rounded. That being said, Nobody's Girl doesn't particularly have much substance, but it is a good listen, and it would be unfair to discount it in the same ways that I've done with previous songs. Like all the songs on the album, it is really good lyrically, and I'd expect no less from Bryan Adams, but it does lack a little bit on the musical accompaniment on the track. Don't Look Back is similar, but I can tell that that's meant to be sort of more of an acoustic, bare-bones track, and I do like it quite a lot. There's some nice guitar work on Don't Look Back also, and it's a more well-rounded track than Nobody's Girl. But as highlighted throughout the years and now, Adams and Valance work really well together here, and make two good songs that for me receive a 6 out of 10 rating. As I was going over the Cork and Kerry mountains, yeah, I thought I'd heard that one before, the last song and the 12th song on the album is a cover of the traditional Irish song from the 17th century that was made universally popular by Thin Lizzy in 1973 on their album Vagabonds of the Western World. The Bryan Adams version of 2019, which seems crazy to say 46 years following on from Whiskey in the Jar by Thin Lizzy, is a more acoustic, bare-bones version, and it does seem that this is a direction that Adams is keen to take in his future projects, with 4 of the songs on his previous album, Get Up, made into acoustic tracks that were included on the deluxe version of the album. This is a good listen, but ultimately doesn't really eclipse the Thin Lizzy version. That being said, I think all the contents of the album show that Bryan Adams' vocals and his guitar work are not past their best, and do remain as strong as ever. Adams does take a slightly different spin of Whiskey in the Jar, and that's refreshing to see. I'll also give this one a 6 out of 10 rating. Shauna Lloyd is a good album, there is no question about that. There's some great singles in there and some that are not so great, which limits the album from becoming great rather than good. Ultimately, most albums are good when they feature some good singles, and Shauna Lloyd as an album fits the bill, although it's a little bit of a disappointment in my opinion when compared to the success of Bryan Adams' previous 2015 effort, Get Up. Based on the averages of my song-to-song ratings, the album receives a 5.83 out of 10 rating. I know, very precise, but I'll increase that to a 6 out of 10 or a 3.5, which I think is quite fair based on the songs on the album. It is great to see Bryan Adams producing new material in my opinion, because there is, in this modern age, a real lack of the older artists producing good material, and new material for that matter. But I've been Toby from TIJ Music, and if you have enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like, comment down below and subscribe to the channel for weekly album reviews and top 10s, and that has been a review of Bryan Adams' new 2019 album, Shine a Light.